Okay, so today I was watching the news, right before I came on, and they said Trump's Department of Justice has just put charges on Comey. What did that mean to me, or what did that say to me? I remember during the election, Kamala Harris stated that President Trump will go after his enemies. And just as she was saying it, the playbook has been unfolding and unfolding. So it's official. President Trump, they have put charges on Comey. The get back is real, he said. Oh, yeah. And they real petty with it. They real petty with it. And normally within the administration, you're going to have some bipartisan, stuff here and there for the most part. With this administration, there's absolutely no bipartisan. Everything is one-sided. It's partisan. It's not bipartisan. So they run in this country from one side. Even with Americans, you're supposed to be trying to cater to the entire United States of America, all Americans. But this administration here is only focused on the one side, right? The right, those who support him, those who vote for him. Anybody else, he count them as enemies. And the sad reality is, even with MAGA, MAGA is dispendable. He using them for support, but he really he ain't did nothing for MAGA, for real. He have not done anything for MAGA. And I think continuing on, he don't have plans to do anything specifically for MAGA. They are expendable. So that's where we at, man, in our country. Somebody said, I'm a force of, said his name Republican 101. He said he's a force of hate. Be careful with that, man, because that hate can tear you up internally. He says MAGA is awesome. That's what's up, man. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, man. You say he got MAGA out of jail. Yeah, he did. Peoples, he did get MAGA out of jail. He got MAGA out of jail. You're talking about the judge, and he got also the reality show couple. So you're right. He did get MAGA out of jail. He did get MAGA out of jail, right? Don't get no brownie points from me. He did what we figured he would do. That's President Trump. He did pardon Hoover, right? But as I said back then, when he pardoned Hoover, it was a stunt, because Hoover got so much state time that he's still not going nowhere. I think they're saying he had like 200 years in state time. And the Capitol, yeah, he did Peoples. He did release the people from the Capitol. You're talking about 1,600 neo-Nazis, racists, white nationalists. He did pardon 1,600 of them. But remember, he's the one that told them, let's march down. Some people say he the one that cited that whole thing. But like you said, Peoples, he did go back and get them. I can't, nothing I can say about that. He did go back and get MAGA. I'm talking about far as the United States, as far as, the economy and the whole thing for the United States, because his promises was to MAGA. Listen, if y'all vote me in on day one, I'm going to do this, that, and the third. So yeah, Peoples, he did go get them capitals, folks. So one thing about it, as far as they concerned, his word is his bond. So yeah, he get respect amongst that circle. Thank you for sharing that. He do get respect amongst that circle. And some people gonna consider that honorable. To me, I count him as one of the worst presidents, just talking about everything, tariffs and the economy and wars that's getting out of control under his watch. But for some of them, they're going to say he's the greatest, he's the best, because of things he did for them personally. So that is true, man. Nothing but respect. I got to respect it because it did happen. One thing I'm gonna do, listen, we head into the fall, we in fall, but the weather ain't really break like that yet. It's still hot. I want to encourage y'all to make sure you drink your H2O or whatever liquid you drink, and make sure you keep some fluids in your body. Make sure you keep some fluids in your body. So I was also, it's been real hot around here about, Charlie Kirk and statements that he made. My stance was, even after listening to him, people be like, you got to listen to Charlie Kirk and keep everything in context, right? Even after all that, my summation would be that he was a racist, neo-Nazi. I'm gonna say this. He spoke racism when it came to Black people. He spoke racism and disparaging words when it came to Black people. And I'm gonna focus on that DEI thing, because he had mentioned that if he was to get on a plane and see a Black person, he would wonder if they were DEI. I just want to say this, right? Because people say keep that in context. I'm going to keep it in context. Just talking about that, right? If I was to see Black pilots, I'm going to be excited because I know the numbers. And I'm going to share the numbers with y'all in a minute. I know the exact numbers of pilots, African Americans, whites, even white women. And this is the thing. His message to me was very Joseph, you come on here, y'all say look in context, right? You jump right in calling somebody a name. Don't context matter? In the context of Charlie Kirk speaking about that, he was lying and being deceptive, because he was having y'all think that Black pilots are DEI hires. Let me give you the numbers. There are no Black DEI hires like he's trying to say. These are the numbers. White pilots make up 92 to 94%. Joseph, did you know that, sir? White pilots today make up 92 to 94%. Black pilots make up 3.9% of pilots. So there's no big hire of Blacks on DEI. So the context of that very conversation was misleading, right? To y'all who listened to him. Let me read Ivan. James Comey indicted today on 2 counts. Trump get him. Ivan, that's what I said. I started out with that. He is charged, but y'all supported, so okay. But that's what Harris was saying about Trump, that Trump would go after his enemies, that Trump would not know how to handle Putin. Putin would play him like a fiddle. Everything she spoke is coming to pass. Everything that she spoke about President Trump is coming to pass. Everything, exact thing that she spoke about President Trump is coming to pass. And I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to continue on with Charlie Kirk and his misleading information. I'm going to keep this in context. His conversation, wait, what? Bob Cox said, wait, what? Yeah, James Comey been indicted. Bob Cox. Trump's DOJ has charged James, Comey. Ron said, I was here when Trey was trying to convince you Kirk wasn't a racist. You stuck to your guns and your convictions are getting stronger. You love to see it. Yeah, Nafir said Charleston White make a good point about double standard when it comes to Kirk. Most definitely. I was watching a whole show with him today. I don't know if that's the same thing you were speaking of, but I was watching the whole thing, and I gained a little bit more respect for that man, because some people just think he speak out of the side of his neck. And I'm talking about Charleston White. But I didn't know the history. I knew he was clean cut, but I didn't know the work that he was doing. So not fair, yeah. Charleston did make some good points, on that. And he also explained why he backed off of them and started focusing on us. So he did say that, peoples. But Ryan, I appreciate you. I thank you. But that's what it is, man. People say context. Keeping it in context, right? I can clearly say that Charlie's always been a jerk. Yeah, and for people that back him, I understand white supremacists, white nationalists supporting, but we got a lot of our own people who support everything he's saying. And I asked the brother, I said, well, what about the statement about our sisters, man, not having the brain capacity? And my brother said, yeah, I listened to them speak. They don't have the brain capacity. So it's sad that he even got our own people thinking like that about us, man. And that's crazy. I said Charleston White going to catch that work one. Man, for real, he making too many enemies out there. It's crazy. I seen one time they ran up on the stage to try to get him, so people have tried to put hands on him. I don't know what kind of security he got. I don't know what he got, but you're right, Ivan. He need to tread. You making too many enemies. But I guess he know what he's doing, to each his own. And I got to respect that man for, what he doing. There's a lot of stuff I don't like that he say, right? But he a grown man. We're in a place of what? Freedom of speech. Just like with the Jimmy Kimmel situation. Jimmy Kimmel got taken off of the air for things that he said, right? He had millions of people hot. So he came back on. So now Disney put him back on. But what happened is, when they put him back on, some smaller networks, they stood on business. They said, we not showing him. So certain small networks did not show him, Jimmy Kimmel, right? So they released the numbers this morning. Man, they say he broke records. The show, when he came on Tuesday, I don't know about records, but it was one of his highest viewing shows. I think he has 6 million views. And evidently for a night show, he don't usually get that many numbers. Ron said, I appreciate you, bro. They try to convince people their opinions aren't accurate. It's mind games. Follow your instincts. I appreciate that, most definitely. That's what I do. And then on the slide, they belittle you, talk, you're not smart, get out of, you know what I mean? And okay, thank you, but no thank you. Hello said, please, God, give MAGA the strength to stop whining for one day. Just one day of peace, oh Lord. Escalators, Tylenol, please make it stop. Yeah, you saw the thing about Tylenol. Tylenol is going to kill you. Don't take Tylenol. So, what's his name? Hello. Yeah, I saw that. They talking about Tylenol. But if you just coming on, also the DOJ has charged Comey. Trump has been trying to get him charged for a minute, but that's where we at, man. And it's sad that half of the country is okay with this behavior, right? They okay with him, how he doing the Latinos, just kidnapping them. They ain't got to show no ID. They run up on people. They all right with them running up on black cities. And yeah, I'll be the first one to say we got work to do in the black community, right? But the military, that ain't what it is, man. In my opinion, Grander and Flight said the doctors have been talking about Tylenol for years. Gander, good point. But Trump, as soon as Trump's administration say something, now it's a problem. That's a problem to me, because now it's like as soon as Trump say something, it's everybody ride with it. If Trump say buy Tesla, we all ride with, not me, but those people will ride with Tesla, right? And then if he turn around and said, oh, I fell out with Musk, don't buy Tesla, then we're changed up. Mac 10 said, preach, you're so smart. Okay, Granted said, why is there so much black on black crime in America? That's an issue, right? And that's the issue that we need to talk about within the black community. You hear me? Granted, I don't know what your ethnic background is, but that's the issue we need to talk about and address. And there are organizations trying to deal with it. Like how many Trumps have dropped Gander like that? Hello said, like how Trump's has dropped Gander like that. Ryan said they're putting autism in the Tylenol. There's some stuff going on, Ryan. You have to understand they are conspiracy theorists. They get alternative facts. 10 out of 10 doctors say Tylenol is fine. It's the fastest takeover. Yeah, we in some serious times. We need to document these times, put it in the bottle. We under some serious times. Trump himself can say something about any department and everybody will go with it. Instead of just being a leader, let departments run themselves, right? But you want to take over schools. You want to run attorneys. Before this is over with, Trump will have his hands in everything dealing with the country. So you won't even be able to trust the news. They just made everybody who got credentials at the White House, news reporters that got credentials, had to sign something that say they cannot release a story, right, until the Trump administration approves it. That's censorship. They just did that on the 22nd, man. Y'all check it out for yourself. The Trump administration is now saying or getting reporters, those with credentials, to come in that they cannot release no information. I understand top secret stuff, but they said even unclassified information, reporters can't tell until the Trump administration say it's okay for y'all to do. That's censorship at the highest level. It said, I was being so Ryan. I know, Ryan. I got you. I knew what you were saying because that's what they saying about the Tylenol. So that's why I put it in quotes. Yeah, I understand exactly. I was with you. I just was quoting, and I should have did a better. I probably should have did a better job quoting it. He said, "We good, bro." But thank you, man. But this is the thing, though, right? As Charlie Kirk, we keep. I'm going back for a minute to keep it in context. When he was speaking about black pilots, I told you who the #1 recipients of DEI is: white women, right? But as he talking and he going to campus, speaking to kids, he talking to these young kids. He wasn't debating real debaters. He was talking to these college kids, right? Lying, spreading misinformation. So this is my thing with pilots, because a lot of people scared after hearing Charlie Kirk. All black people is the DEI pilots. This is the thing. White pilots make up 92 to 94% of the pilots. Black pilots make up 3.9. And I think it's only 1% of those are black females. One of those, 1% of those is black females. So the whole context, and we want to keep it in context, it started with deceit, lies, deception, right? That's why I continue to say it's racist to the core. Nobody can't tell me different. And this is what they say about critical thinking, you know, because people would throw that, y'all don't think critically. I am a critical thinker. I think stuff through all the time. And one of the things to be a critical thinker, you have to understand your own biases, right? So I'm gonna admit here on live, on this live stream, one of my main bias is being a black man and loving my black people. I love all people. Don't get me wrong. I love all people, but that's a bias I have. So if I hear somebody attacking, you know, my peoples, yeah, the radar is gonna go up. And I will probably, most likely, if I have the opportunity, will call it out. And that's all I was doing with Charlie Kirk. That's it. Ron said, bro, check this out. When Trump ended DEI, the federal government, FAA, got defunded. Air traffic controllers got fired. And guess what happened? Exactly. We know what happened. Planes started crashing more often. You on point, Ryan. Planes started crashing more often. Exactly. You said it. Planes started crashing. And that's a fact. So, you know, to talk about planes, I want to bring up this man, right? I don't know if y'all learned about him or if y'all know about him. And I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna do the best I can to pronounce his name. His name is Jarome This man name is Jarome. Let me get his name. Pronunciation. Stanislaus. Stanislaus. Jarome Stanislaus is an African-American pilot, right? And he shares a story, like he about 3 years old, and he saw a plane take off, and his dad always tell him the story that he was like, wow. He said it real loud that others around saw it. And the dad knew at that point that his son was going to be special. He started as an elementary teacher, but he became a pilot. And he was asked, why is it not a lot of Black pilots? He pointed to a couple things. One of the main things that he pointed to was that not seeing other Black pilots, a lot of young Black African Americans don't think they can do it. Number one, right? Because you need to see people sometimes, not all people, because he had a supportive family and he still pursued that and became very successful. But he was saying that not seeing enough, Black pilots can discourage or not encourage young Black males or even females to want to be pilots. He also spoke about the fees for the classes. And I don't know if it's not enough grants for those, take flight classes or whatever, but he was talking about the cost of training. And then there's the cost of licensing. So all that costs money. And those were some of the blocks that he said why a lot of Blacks, were not pursuing, aviation. But guess what? He has created himself. This is not DEI. He created a nonprofit organization that's teaching young minorities and underprivileged how to fly. Ryan said FDA inspecting food and drugs. EPA, they make sure your water is clean, all defunded. Listen, we messed up. Not only that, right? The information, because they've been on the CDC. They got the CDC shook. So even with that, man, we in trouble. Because if a virus come, if something come and hit us, they're gonna tell us like Trump told us years ago, drink some bleach. Y'all, this ain't me telling y'all that. Don't drink bleach. But I'm just repeating what Trump said on his last term. Thank you, Joseph, for your very encouraging words. You think you saying that going to make a difference? I'm gonna continue to speak my piece, man, without fear. Because if I can help one or two, or how many I can help, that's a blessing, man. I'm not looking for the haters. Those who come with hate in their heart. I guess you got that from Charlie Kirk too, because all Charlie Kirk spoke against my people was hate and racism. So I guess you got that from him. Thanks for identifying yourself. Thank you, sir. Joseph, bleach and tanning beds. Can UV lights kill the virus? It's a total clown show. Yeah, we cook right now though. So my thing is continue to hold on to the Most High. Make the best of this, man. Try to do your best to take care of you and your family. But we cook right now because Trump trying to get control of everything. And the sad reality is people sitting back and letting it happen because some people, for some reason, don't think it can happen to them. But I want y'all to look up the name of this pilot, this Black pilot, Jarome Stanislaus, Jarome Stanislaus. Make sure y'all check him out and research him and see what's going on with that, man. And hopefully, because I'm telling you, he giving training to free training. I think it's free or something like that. But he giving training to young Blacks and other underprivileged people. But I want us to focus on positive. I do want to take this time, man, to shout out my veterans. Not just the veterans, but those who have served in the military. Anybody who served in the military, big shout out to y'all, man. Thank you for the work that y'all are doing. We appreciate y'all. We know in this country, especially under this administration, the military haven't really been getting any respect. They've been treating y'all any kind of way, but I want y'all to know y'all are appreciated, right? I had several family members who served, several. So I want to thank you, and I thank my family members who serve. Thank them for the work that they have done. But right now, listen, Trump is coming after all his enemies. We talk about freedom of speech. Trump is even mad that they brought Jimmy Kimmel back. They don't want you to have freedom of speech. See, they'll say one thing, but actually their heart shows something different. Jimmy Kimmel is a late night comedian, right? Trump wanted that man fired. Another thing too, they was calling for anybody who spoke ill or celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk should be fired. That's what they were saying. And this is wrong to the core, because when even when George Floyd, you can list any of them who got killed, right? They didn't make these same claims. And they had George Floyd had kids, they had a family. So, but I guess their life didn't matter to them. So, you know, that's where that's where we are. Excuse me, y'all. That's where we are. But I want young Black people to check out the name Joseph Stanislaus. Joseph Stanislaus. Check him out. He giving free classes. I think it's free, but I know he got a nonprofit up in New York City. It's a Fly for the Culture. It's in Brooklyn, New York. Y'all research that. If you know some young people that's interested in flying, you know, pursuing a career in aviation, we do need more Black pilots. Not saying in a sense of DEI, but yeah, we need more Blacks in a lot of different things. And remember this: every time we get into something, we excel. Black people was playing baseball in a separate league, right? Then they came to the real league, right? And excelled. Black people in tennis, excel. Golf, excel. Hockey, excel. So anything we do, man, we excel, man. We invented and created a lot of things, even though a lot of people don't want to give us credit for that. Remember, Black people did a lot of stuff, man. And we got a lot of help from a lot of good white people, man. We got a lot of help from good white people. While, you know, Harriet Tubman was doing the Underground Railroad, a lot of them houses, it wasn't no actual railroad. Some people, when they first hear this, they thinking it's a railroad. Listen, it was like a conglomerate, you know, houses. You go from one houses. It was a network. That's what it was. So it was a network. So it was a lot of them houses were white people houses. So even in the struggle with that, there was a lot of white people who stood with African Americans. So big shout out to them, man. It ain't just white people bad. It ain't none of that. A lot of white people did a lot of good stuff for our people, because by ourselves we wouldn't be here, you know, like that. So big shout out to them. We appreciate them for the work that they did. But check out, if you know, young Black men, young Black females, if you thinking about flying, research this man. I know he'll have some resources for you, man. That's a career. We do need Black pilots. And I'm not going to look at a Black person to be like, is he DEI? Because as I said, and as I continue to say, white women are the #1 recipients of DEI. Because anytime they say minorities, white women are in that class of minorities, right? But for some reason, they get pushed to the top of the list. That's how it works. And I'm not mad at that, because everybody needs equal opportunities here in the United States of America. I got an H2O. Make sure you stay hydrated. Keep them fluids. Keep them fluids in your body. Make sure you stay hydrated. But as I was saying, you know, Trump, is being petty as he does. And he had his DOJ put charges on Comey. I want to see how this play out. I do want to see how this plays out. What's going to happen with this? Who's going to be next? Because Trump got a lot of enemies. You know, some was calling for the arrest of Obama, Nancy Pelosi. How far would this Department of Justice go in seeking revenge from this childish, petty, incompetent president? The DOJ has become weaponized. Yes, it did. It's fascism 101. Yes, it is. And people have been saying it. Bernie Sanders and AOC has been going through all 50 states, man, during these No Kings protests and all that, saying it's an oligarchy, it's fascist. Yeah, this is exactly what it is. This is exactly what it is, man. And if we're not careful, man, instead of the United States of freedom, we'll be living in a Germany, 1940s style type Germany. So we need to be careful, man. And the bottom line is Trump is thinking about his billionaire buddies. President Trump is thinking about his billionaire buddies. So don't think just because somebody is white that Trump got your back. That's not necessarily the case. The case is he wanted to run the country to where he had rule, and even to the point where he may be he's going to try to stay in there. 2028 election, he's going to try to run again, or he's going to try to stay in there where he don't even have to run. So he's getting everything set up. Say Democrats do is actually what Ryan says. Everything Republicans say Democrats do is actually what Republicans do. That's a fact. That's a fact. I've been hearing a lot of stuff they talk that say the Democrats are doing this. And I'll be like, I'm seeing y'all do it. I'm seeing the right do the stuff that they claim other people are doing, right? Talking about attacking freedom of speech, attacking black cities, or let me say black mayor cities or black populated cities. Even with the rounding up of the Latinos, Trump lied to them and tried to make them think that Harris will go after the Latinos. And then he lied to the Latinos and told them, listen, I will not come after y'all. The only ones I'm going to come after are the criminals. So they supported Trump like 60%. Ryan said, hard to see through the BS. You're on the right side, bro. Yeah, it's hard for some people, for whatever reason, for whatever reason. I had somebody tell me this or say this to me recently. Bro, you got great ideas, but you need to come to the other side. There's a word for that where I come from. That word is sell out. You can say the same thing and just be on the other side. Ryan said, your critical thinking is on point. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But they sure tried to encourage me for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know what benefit it would have been to them, right? I don't know what benefit it would have been to them. But they said, you got great points, brother. Just go on the other side and try to explain to me the benefits of doing that. That's why when you watch some of these videos and you see I'm gonna hold on that. I'm not even gonna talk bad about none of my people. Do what you do. I know that, Ron. I kind of figured it, but what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that, Ron. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like there's nothing wrong with me as a black man. Let me say this to everybody. I'm gonna say this, right? I have no hate in my heart for nobody. I will call racism out, though, if I'm able to identify it, right? But let me tell you this, man. I love my Latino brothers and sisters, right? I love my Puerto Rican, no matter whether they Puerto Ricans, all my Hispanics and Latinos, I love them. I love my African American brothers and sisters. I love my white brothers and sisters. I love those who are part of the LGBTQ community. I ain't got no hate for nobody, but it seemed like on the other side, they use a lot of fear and want to have hate. That's why when they speak of DEI, we got to be careful because they want us to think or want people to think that Black people are taking their jobs. And that creates a lot of hostility. So as Charlie Kirk was speaking that, the DEI, that creates rage and hostility amongst some of these people because they believe it. They think the Black people is taking their jobs and not understanding that the number one recipients of any DEI initiative are white women, right? Hispanics, Asians, Americans with disability, and then followed by African Americans. We so far down the list, we like number 5th on the list. And a lot of people don't know that because they have been listening to the lies and the rhetoric spread by people like Kirk, even Trump. But you can't make them think different. And I'm not trying to. I just know where I stand. People will come on my videos and say, why you this and that? Okay, express your point, right? And let it be. They want to force you to think like them. Hard Rocker said might be the devil or the Lord, but you got to serve somebody. Hard Rocker said might be the devil or the Lord, but you got to serve somebody. That's a good point, right? And this is the thing. God is not a body, but I understand what you're saying. I try to stand on that which is right. The Most High, as the Most High give me insight, put love in my heart to walk in that. That's what I follow on. That's exactly what I follow, is that which is right. So thank you, Hard Rocker. Thank you very much. So basically, that's where I'm at, man. Ron said, Target halted their DEI policies. The Target boycott destroyed Target shares prices. You love to see it. Prior to the people, Disney lost $4 billion. Man, people was canceling subscriptions. They said it like with the Hulu and all that. They was trying to get crafty, and as people was canceling their subscription, they was making them go to a second screen. It used to be easier. You just cancel. They was making them go to another screen and asking them additional questions. So yeah, that's what happened. It's the people. So no matter how much lies, but see, Trump is trying to stop that because if you can't get the truth out, people won't know. If you can't get the truth out, people won't know. So that's why him making these reporters sign, they say it's like a 15-page document that if they can't release any story until the White House say they can release it, whether it's classified or unclassified information. So now those other reporters outside can do it, but the ones in there, they can't do it, or they risk losing their credential. You're talking about an attack on the American people, an attack on democracy, attack on this here republic. Is sad. And it's sad as people, I don't know if they blind, naive, or whatever, they just going with it. That's a problem. He said, that's a problem. Ryan said blind. Yeah. So as I was saying, man, we living in some real serious times. During the election, they were speaking about Project 2025. And at that time, President Trump just lied to voters. He claimed not to know anything about it, right? The Harris Foundations are some of the biggest supporters, I think they actually wrote it up, Project 2025. And Trump knew exactly about it because, as we see, the playbook is playing out. Hard Rocker said, can't leak classified material. But see, that's the narrative he wants you to believe. They're saying they can't release stories until they approve it, classified or unclassified. I give you classified, right? We'll give you that, but they're going to abuse this, Hard Rocker. And you know it. They are going to abuse this, right? Only ones that's going to, only way we really going to get information is those who buck the system or reporters outside of that circle. If they can find stories, then we're going to rely on them. But as far as that free press, that's almost out the door. Freedom of speech, they want it out the door. But like Ryan said, the power is in the people. Trump said 50 times, I never heard of Project 20. he said it's fear. They fear mongering. And that's what they had. They was putting the word out. It's fear. Don't believe it. The left, they're just trying to make people afraid. They were right on points. Harris, when I say she, I'm talking about Harris. Kamala Harris stated that President Trump will go after his enemies. And people's like, nah, Trump ain't, that's what people were thinking. But this is exactly what he's doing. He going after his enemies. So all that democracy and all that, my thing, Bernie Sanders, AOC, man, y'all keep fighting, man. Continue to go around. Continue to make the people aware. Continue to make people aware. But that's what we're dealing with. All they had to do was read it. They failed, and now they're suffering. Yeah, that's another thing. But as far as the Latinos, when the Latinos voted for him, some of them probably didn't speak good English or all that. They just trying to survive. They just probably speak enough English to do some of them. Some of them speak very well. But I'm just saying, as a whole, Trump went after 60%. He got 60% of the Latino vote. And he kind of told them that he would not go after them, only the criminals. And they're like, okay, we honest working people. So you can go after the criminals, but he lied, man. He been going after children. They raided elementary schools. This is the president or the America that we live in right now. Hard Rocker said, no one's above the law, Joe. But what about Trump? Trump is a convicted felon. I don't know if you knew that or not, Hard Rocker. He's been convicted of 34 counts as he sit in the office. So if we say we for the law, back to blue, we have a president that's convicted that y'all was all right and still voted for him. So don't talk about that. Latinos for Trump was all a trap to get their vote, then booted them out. Liberals was raising their alarm bells. They didn't listen. Now they are suffering. We call it F around and find out. You're right. That's exactly what it is. But that's what's going on, man. That's what's going on. And I just want to be another voice to bring truth to our people, man. Truth to people. Because if he have the way he go, he trying to attack each network individually. His goal is to attack each network, whether it's NBC, ABC, CNN. He already got Fox, but he want to attack all these networks. We're not going to be able to get the truth. If something come through like the coronavirus did before, who we going to trust with that information? Jed, thank you for your words. You coming in, you can't even keep it in context. Y'all be the main ones talking about context, right? And since you not be tolerated here in this chat, accountability has to be tolerated. And the first one I'm holding accountable, not the first one, but the one I held accountable in addition to President Trump, It's Charlie Kirk with his lies and his BS, right? He came to the fear, talking to you, Jed. He used fear, lies, and deceit to trick y'all and think black people are coming after white people jobs. He has said that multiple times. Charlie Kirk has said that. So let's be accountable. Let's keep it in context. Ron said 100. Let's keep that in context, man. And the context that is that he was a straight up racist. He wasn't this Christian. Well, I ain't gonna say that. Maybe there was a lot of Christians that did some bad things. I'm not gonna knock that, but he was racist at the same time. I can tell you that. That's clear. That's in context. But he tried to lie to y'all and say if you see a black pilot, right, he will wonder, are they DEI hires? Listen, white men are 92 to 94%. Check the Department of Labor stats. Black people make up 3.9%. Say you work or you don't. That up to the people. Okay, I'm lost on that. There's a lot of racism and bigots that hide behind the Bible. That's a fact. That's a fact. We got to realize, even during slavery, people was reading the Bible. People were practicing Christianity, right? And they was misinterpreting the Bible to say why it was okay to, treat other human beings the way that they did, and then tell those individuals, obey your masters. So yeah, people been hiding behind the Bible for years. People do it today. Some of the worst molesters, right, hide behind the Bible. Some of our priests in the Catholic churches, not all of them, but some of them. So yeah, there's a lot going on. People will hide behind the Bible, hands down. And it is against Christ's teachers to hate. We supposed to love, man. That unadulterated love, right? That real love that's going to speak the truth without fear. So that's what this is, man. Thank you, Jeb. Jeb, you're a good man. Just who's the fruits of the spirit? I think you was trying to say spirit. What's the fruit of the spirit? The fruits of the spirit are your very actions, right? I hope you didn't think it was a fruit. Robert said hate sin, most definite. And I guarantee you racism is sin. You would say that, right? Robert Stewart. Trump going after his opponents, his enemies, is sin. You would say that, right? Oh, Jeb, you knocked me out with that. Jeb said, love one another, hate their sin. And that's a fact. But some people can't differentiate, because if somebody do something close to somebody in your family, it's going to be hard to say that, right? You see them in court. It might not, it's easier said than done, but I got you. He said, read the fruits of the spirit. So listen, man, I know about it. I'm not going to read it right now. I don't have a Bible in front of me. So I understand that you know what it is. But, love is all that good stuff. I don't have to read it. I know what it is. But that's why I just make it simple and just say love, man. But don't get that. It's not it's not that adulterated love. The love that we speaking of is the unadulterated love, man. That really love people. That's really concerned about the well-being, not just pointing out that black people do this, black people do that. That unadulterated love, you're not going to just say that. You're going to try to see what you can do to help them. You're not just going to send the military, go shoot them up, go down there and y'all can have y'all guns. That ain't the love we talking about. Facts always matter. This administration have a problem with facts, right? Y'all call it alternative facts. So I'm with facts, but talk to your administration about that. I don't know what you're talking about, hard rocker. What are you talking about? I know a fact is that racism is wrong, and we got millions of people who's in that spectrum of racism who don't want don't look at blacks as equal. Millions. That should be an issue. So don't talk one thing, be about it. You can preach that to them races and try to bring them back on the right side. But man, I brought y'all a lot of information, man. And I don't want this name to be forgotten. I told y'all about Jarome Stanislaus. He's a black pilot, and he got the nonprofit called Fly for the Culture. It's up in New York City, and he's training young people, young underprivileged people, man, how to fly and trying to encourage them to pursue a career in aviation. It's only like 3.9% blacks as we speak. The goal is to get more, not through DEI, as Charlie Kirk was misleading people to make people think that they're DEI. That's a lie from the pits of hell. But he's doing a good work. This black man is doing a great work in his community. And hopefully it will encourage some young brothers to become pilots. You point that at so you're saying a lot of the white people didn't earn it? Everyone in Trump administration, right? This is the most incompetent administration. You can go down the list. When you just Jeb said DEI said didn't earn it. He got that from Charlie Kirk. He got that specifically from Charlie Kirk. And that's what I'm talking about. These talking points that y'all attempt to use, you know, didn't earn it. Okay. White women are the #1 recipient of DEI. No one's attacking white women and saying, are you DEI? That would be racist, man. Stop being hypocritical, Jed. Don't be hypocritical, man. If you're about that good life, you're a Christian, whatever you say you claim, be about that life, man. Get that hate out your heart. But I know it's easy because it's in your circle. The hate is so normal. That's why when somebody say racist stuff, y'all always hear it. So to y'all, it's not a problem. That's not racist because y'all hear it all the time. Get that hate out your heart, man. Don't be a hypocrite. Stand on what you say you're standing on. Stand on that which is right, man. Stand on that which is right. I done been on here a little longer, you know, than I expected. I want to thank y'all again for coming through. Facts ain't got a Jeb. Just because you said don't make it facts, man. That's what's wrong with the conservative party. We're facts. No, y'all believe in alternative facts, man. Y'all believe in alternative facts. Don't tell the truth. So don't say you believe in facts. If you believed in facts, you wouldn't have been voted for this man after he was convicted. No, you're missing the point. The best people, when they fire in aviation, listen to me, Robert, because you ain't got a clue, evidently. They fired some of the best 5-star generals, people who was over aviation, fired them. This Trump administration did, but you didn't know that. But anyway, they fired these competent people, and then they hired incompetent people. So to speak about anybody didn't earn it, you can look right in Trump's administration. Who earned it? Pete Hegseth didn't. None of them didn't earn it. The most qualified is probably Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is probably the most qualified in that whole administration. It said Fox gaslights their audience and lies to them. It's all based off of hate. That's what it is, but they can't see it. They see it, but they don't want to admit it. So that's what it is. But like I said, Even when y'all hear hate and racism, y'all act like y'all didn't hear it. So that tells me in your closet, in your houses, you must hear that regularly. He said nothing wrong. That's why y'all able to support this man who is constantly racist towards black people in Charlie Kirk. Hate is powerful. Thanks, Ryan. Hate is powerful, and it will consume them. If you continue to allow it, it will consume you. But listen, man, I've been on here. I want to thank y'all for those who were sharing in the comments. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But this is Mark B's perspective, where you're going to get the truth, the unadulterated truth, right? As I know it. I'm not perfect, but I'm not afraid to speak truth as I know it. I speak truth to power. But I want to thank y'all once again, man. Those who disagree, the ones who come on here with your name calling, y'all weak as water. That's the best y'all got. Y'all weak as water. It said love is more powerful. Some people, they see the fruits right in front of them. You know, speaking the truth is part of the fruits, right? Moving in love is part of the fruits, but you won't be able to see it if you ain't been about that. You can't just read it in the scripture. It got to be already in your life, man. But thank you, Hard Rocker. It got to be in your life. These are not words. The fruits are not words, right? There's action that helps the motivation to do what you're doing. And that's what's happening over here, man. Ain't nothing but love. That's all it is, man. Stop with all that right and left. Right now in this country is the billionaires, and then it's everybody else. Trump don't care about that. He use y'all when it come time for votes, or if he need y'all to start a war or something like that. That's what Trump wants y'all for. But y'all don't see it. I want to thank y'all. Make no mistake about it. Democracy hangs in the balance. Scary times. And that's a fact, man. That's a fact. But people are not going to care about democracy until it's gone. Nobody's going to care, right? Until it's gone. They don't see it. They don't see it, man. But I'm going to continue to do my little part over here and try to make the best of it. Ron, I hope you have a good night. Hard Rocker, everybody else that commented, I appreciate y'all. Those who came with the disrespect, yeah, liberals predicted this. They was right. They was right. Harris was saying it the whole time, you know. But some people was like, man, it ain't gonna get this bad. But now we see it. Trump didn't, somebody, before I go, somebody said, Hard Rocker said Trump didn't start the Ukraine war, right? But nobody said that, man. Trump promised because Putin got Trump in his back pocket. Trump thought he would be able to convince him. They'd have had several face-to-face meetings. I'm glad Hard Rocker you brought that up. He didn't start it, but he sure can't finish it, and it's gotten worse under his watch. You got to be honest about that. Also, in Gaza has gotten worse. These are facts. Look at the killing. He have taken more land since Trump been in office. Facts. Whether you accept them or not, these are facts, man. Even in Israel, in the Gaza Strip, right? The war has gotten worse. So Ron said 70% of Project 2025 has already been implemented. And they working hard every day to keep going and going and going. None but facts, man. This is where you're going to get the unadulterated truth, right? Because I'm not paid by nobody. I'm speaking just 1 million. See, people still believe in this trickle-down system that doesn't exist. Having rich people in office mean they will never understand your needs and will be out of touch with what the people really want. Just one me. Oh, I need to freeze frame that. That was a good comment. I got to read that one more time. People still believe in this trickle down system that doesn't exist. It's not going to trickle down, right? She says, having rich people in office mean they will never understand your needs and will be out of touch with what the people really want, right? Because they don't care for real, for real. All that trickle down. Trump made executive orders. Remember this, y'all. President Trump signed executive orders to help billionaires. He didn't sign executive orders to help regular people. Thank you very much for sharing that. Just one me. Appreciate that. That's a fact. We talk about facts all the time. Hard Rocker said, heard about all fentanyl. I'm about to go, man. Hard Rocker. I appreciate you, man. Y'all say some funny stuff, man, but I know where it's coming from. Is where y'all get your information from. Ron said, it never trickled down. 55 trillion has been taken from the working class since Reagan. Facts. And this is another thing, right? You talk about the trillions of dollars. Man, they taken from the elderly, Social Security, Medicaid, right in our face. Right in our face. So the gap between the rich and the poor is expanding. It's continuing to expand. Listen, man, I want to thank y'all for being here. Because Hard Rocker don't want to deal with the real stuff. We've presented a whole bunch of stuff. He talking about fentanyl, the illusion that he got. You better look at in Pennsylvania, they still got a major fentanyl problem in Kensington. Go research that. Don't talk about Trump cleaning up fentanyl. That's a lie. He telling you. He do stuff like photo ops to try to make it look good. But I want to thank y'all again, man. I done been on here past my time. Thank you, Ryan, Hard Rocker, Just One Me, Not Fear, everybody who came through. I want to thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Ryan said the Trump voters are worried about trans. 5% of Americans are trans. MAGA hate immigrants when it's the elite that destroy their lives and their farms, and they keep voting for it. Shame. Fight elites, not each other. Ryan, you said a good thing. Fight the elites, not each other, man. But they want to keep us separated because it's about divide and conquer. That's what it's about. Class warfare. Exactly. But I done been here past my time. I want to thank y'all once again. Anybody who haven't done it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I make a video, man. Thank y'all again. Y'all have a good evening. Until next time, y'all be safe. Peace.